So, here we are, we three queens. I'm a Chieng.
I'm Musonda.
I just thought I'd be a bit regal and different.
I love it.
But you all know, I'm Micheline.
So, today, listen, we're just having a
Today we're having a blast,
this is
people.
us being
Just
really
be
silly.
part of this
Yes.
drama.
Fun.
Absolutely. But, much as we're having fun, today we're going to talk about bucket lists. Do you guys have a bucket list? You know, I don't know if any of you guys have watched the movie Bucket List, but it's really all about writing out the things you'd love to do. Some of them can be crazy, crazy, crazy. Some can be normal, some can be dull. Whatever it is, just things that you'd love to do before you die.
Love it.
Yeah?
Oh my goodness. Are you starting us off?
Well, no, I want to hear from you guys first.
Sonda?
Yes,
Go
I
for
shall
it.
start.
Go for it.
Do you know, I dreamt about, because for the longest I've gone on holiday with either friends or my family, etc. and everything. And then a year ago, I decided I will go on a solo trip. And it was on my bucket list to go to Zanzibar.
Yeah?
And I was like, should I go with a friend, with a lover perhaps? Or with a girlfriend, I don't know, with my sister, with my brother, I don't know. I was kind of reflecting. I just bought that ticket, went to Zanzibar. Watched the most amazing sunset, watched the most amazing sunrise alone. I wrote in my diary, I walked Old Town of Zanzibar alone. I celebrated International Women's Day alone.
Oh, nice. It was this time.
It was just
Last
a week before
2 years
the
ago.
global lockdown,
Oh my
a year ago.
Oh, a year ago. I
Wow.
remember that.
It was the most exquisite trip.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, my goodness.
And what about you, Mish?
Do you know what? I'm just thinking, I have so many,
Yeah.
and yet I've never written them down. So this is a really good thing to do, is to actually write them
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
So one thing, you know, I love Carnival. I think I've mentioned, I love the Brazilian Carnival.
Carnival.
And yet, the Trinidadian Carnival is unique in that, you know, the one we see on TV, the one from Rio de Janeiro, is a stadium. So you see the beautiful rainha, the queens in their feathers and their
The hats
big
like
hats
us.
and their jewelry and everything.
Yeah.
But they go from like float to float
Yeah.
in this stadium, right?
Yeah.
There are cities in Brazil that have street carnivals. But the one that's really the biggest street carnival, I believe, of the world is Trinidad. So
Bigger
I
than
heard
Brazil?
It's
Ooh. Like Rio?
huge. It's huge.
Like the whole island.
Rio is the biggest global carnival, and it's
Yeah.
not a street carnival.
Okay.
Let me just make sure that that's clear. Other cities in Brazil, like
Yeah.
Bahia, Sao Paulo, they have street or neighborhood carnivals.
Yeah.
But in Trinidad, the whole island comes together.
Yeah.
So all of it is a street carnival. So on my bucket
Wow.
list, the unwritten one, right,
Yeah.
was to go and to dress in all that shimmy shimmy, bikini, gilded, glory, the feathers, the works.
Did
and
you?
basically, yes.
No.
And basically do what they do. So they say you play mass. So the expression playing mass
Yeah.
is to basically join a club, because there are different clubs in Carnival. Almost like you'd have different clubs, say in a sports club.
Yeah.
And you join a club.
Wow.
My club is called Fantasy. One of the, well, of course now I'm biased because I'm part of Fantasy, but it is known as one of the nice clubs.
Yeah.
And you join them. They have a color theme. That year was black and gold. It was
Oh.
about 2014, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
And they give you the outfit. I mean, remember the diaspora in the US, the Trinidadians all
Yeah.
over the world,
Yeah.
right? And so I really had a blast. I went and I did it. I was living in Brazil at the time,
imagine.
and there was a person working in the Trinidad office,
Yeah.
and she knew somebody who grew up as a fantasy. You've got to understand, I'm trying to find our
Is it like
equivalent
sophomore
here.
or something, sorority of sorts or not?
Maybe like sports. You know how people are like Man U? I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of a
Oh,
nice
right,
analogy. Like
possibly, yeah.
from when you're 4.
Yes.
You know, you subscribe to a particular carnival group.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And you
It's
don't
a whole
just switch.
thing.
It's a whole thing. Like in
Yeah,
Brazil,
yeah.
I mean, I know my group. Hello? Vai Vai
Listen,
from Sao Paulo.
this
Vai
is
Vai.
serious
Vai
business.
Vai is the group. So long, you know, the many sub-stories of this. But to summarize,
Yeah.
you know, I'm trying to just get you, you know, sort of in part of this glory, right,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I was. So my this younger, you know,
Yeah.
professional had found somebody else who grew up playing mass for fantasy. That's the group.
Yeah.
That means we had the download, all the details as to, you know, how to get the outfits a bit cheaper, exactly where the party was at, who was who, if Rihanna was going to come to this carnival or not, just the whole scoop. So I found myself shimmying in my bikini, my golden things, had a blast, and it's a 4-day party minimum.
Oh my God. Like you need a vacation after it.
Girl,
to just recover.
Do you know something? Not only do you need a vacation, but let me just tell you this, and then I promise I'll shush, but it was so delightful. Before going, like 2 months before, I mentioned to another Trinidadian professional in the office, I said, and he was an older guy, nearly retired, I said, I'm coming to play mass, you know, I'm coming to Trini. He's like, you coming to play mass? You're not fit, man. And so I'm like, I'm not fit. He's calling me fat. He's calling me unfit. I was really quite perplexed and perturbed. After those 4 days, I see what he meant. You have to be fit, as in go to the gym, not so much for your body, although that would be good.
For the stamina.
Because then you look good.
Yeah.
For the stamina. You wake
Wow.
up, you join the floats at like 10 a.m. You're on the street, you're whining.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. There's a truck on the road, bum, bum, bum. You're learning all these songs, you're singing, you're drinking your
my
water, you're dancing
God.
till 10 p.m.
But what about the guys? Like, do the guys do the same thing?
Yes, some
Ooh,
absolutely
Trinidad.
great looking guys are there. Are you kidding me? I think you need a fan.
You need a fan.
Anyway,
You need a fan.
people, it was on my bucket list. It's done.
I love
and
it.
it was incredible.
That sounds like something to
incredible.
put on a bucket list,
Totally,
right?
totally. We should check it out.
I know,
loved it.
right?
As
We
we
should go
speak.
together.
Yes.
You should. First of all, I don't even know if I could handle you both. I'd be like, I've lost my 2 friends on the island. It's a blast.
Oh, wow.
It's a blast.
That's so
I'm sure
awesome.
some
But
people
you need
out
to
there
tell us about
have
yours.
done it.
I know
Tell us,
that.
tell
Listen,
us.
after that, mine sounds so dry. But anyway,
I'm sure it's
it was
fine.
not in sexy little bikini stuff, everything. But I paraglided. You know, literally, I was going through a phase, and you know, sometimes you go through a phase, transition, career, whatever. I cut my hair. Actually, was that before or after I cut my hair the first time? Anyway, so I was in reunion for work.
Yeah.
And one of my colleagues was a professional paraglider. So I was there for I think extending for a weekend. I think maybe we had meetings on the Monday or something. And so what you do is you drive all the way up these mountains, on these little mountain roads, to the top, well, to a certain point, quite high. And then there's sugarcane everywhere. And then you run. So we strapped ourselves in. So I went with him. Of course, I couldn't do it alone because gosh. Like really, I would have just ended up in the middle of the ocean somewhere. You know, poor me, little
Or in the sugarcane field.
or in the sugarcane field. Because literally, you run, if this is the hill, you literally run and then you lift off just before you crash into the sugarcane. It's the most insane
What? Were you screaming?
Honey, that is an understatement. Like, if the lungs needed to be worked, that was the one time my lungs were worked.
So
you know,
funny.
and literally, and then
So you
you're
go
up in the air, thousands of whatever's up in the air.
Yeah.
And you can see from far the beach, you know, the edge of the water and everything. So what you do is you float up. I've got pictures, like just to prove
just seeing
that it
you.
was me. I was
be
there.
like-
I did it.
My heart would just fall like.
Yeah. If I did it now, I don't know if I'd land alive. Like, I don't know if my heart can handle it. But then I was young and feisty, you know. Yeah. And so that was the coolest thing.
Do you land like all crumpled and finding your heart and your soul and your ear?
The
Or
shoe?
do you tell me, do I just flat for a few
No,
seconds?
sweetie, look at me. Do I look like I can just land crumpled?
So you just landed the way
you just landed
You're
and
so
you
silly,
ran
elegantly.
Yeah.
Those
are the things
little
we
angel, sure. I'm sure the pictures show you in like a knot.
clumsily.
That would be mean. Kablong, long, long, long.
Yeah, but
Oh
it's
my
cool because you
God.
land running, kind of, you know. It just tells you when we hit, as we're getting closer to the
So
ground,
did
get
he
ready to
forewarn
run.
you like you're going to be landing?
Yeah,
now?
yeah, and you can see because of course now coming from all those
course, of
whatevers now,
course.
you're coming to the beach, and he says, as we land, don't stop, just run as we land.
Okay.
So when
Because
you
of the
land,
impact.
yes, exactly,
It's
and you're
really
still
interesting.
moving.
Okay.
Oh my
because of
goodness.
the motion.
But
yeah.
it was just the coolest
So exhilarating.
thing. My boss, who'd been going there for years and years, when I showed him pictures, like he was so envious. He said, "I can't believe you did it before me." I was
Oh
like,
my goodness.
"I did."
That is
You know,
fantastic.
that was so for me. That was one of the things.
That's
that I got to do.
amazing.
What
Just the
fun.
adventure, and then of course the views and the.
Awesome.
Exhilaration,
Awesome.
right?
But now,
Wow.
so you've
Okay.
done those.
Okay.
What about something that's on your bucket list that you'd like to do? Like what, maybe the next thing you're going to do, or something that's kind of in the next, I don't know, year or two?
You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're in the pandemic world, so it's a bit tough,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I think I'd like to really see the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
The fact that you can see it from space. I'd love to. I mean, I know people
wow.
who've gone there.
Yeah.
I just love to see it.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would that be probably the next big thing on your bucket list that you do?
Maybe.
When the world kind of settles down?
Possibly.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I haven't been to
Nice.
that part of China.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been to Beijing, to
Yeah.
Wuhan,
Yeah.
I've been to you know, Shanghai, but you know where the sort of the Great Wall is, I've never been there. I'd
Yeah.
love to see that.
Yeah. I've never been either.
That sounds, yeah. I
Have you?
haven't. No, I haven't.
That's so
actually.
weird for people who are so well
Do you know,
traveled.
I haven't
guys.
been to, I've been to
Wow.
Hong Kong, but I haven't been to mainland China.
Yeah.
Oh, mainland
You
is
know?
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one to have. Okay.
Yeah. And what about you? What's
I'm
yours?
just thinking which one. I mean, I have so many. Okay, so you know, bucket lists tend to be, I think a lot of people have, you know, travel things that they want to do. I have, okay, I want to share two. One of them is the thing I want to do, which is to sing, ideally a bossa nova song for, let me just try and be specific, maybe more than 10 people who aren't my friends in an actual, you know, bossa
Like a
nova
nice
or jazz, like a
smoky-
little smoky little
Yes.
joint.
I
you
bet
know?
you could do that even here in Nairobi when COVID settles.
I could, but yeah, I would just have to get the voice, you know, cleared out.
Ready.
But it would just be really nice. I love bossa nova. It's just like, it takes me back to 1920s, which of course I just know from films. So that's one. Yeah, right?
Cool.
And then in terms of places to go,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I feel like the world is getting a bit too, you know, the globalization just converges.
Yeah.
I call it the Starbucks effect, you know, where Taipei, let me think, I don't know, Cape Town and
Yeah.
I don't know, Sao Tome can
Yeah.
look the same because of these global brands. So I thought Bhutan.
Oh, you love
You
Bhutan.
went to Bhutan.
I went to Bhutan. I started a project there on
I
tigers.
know. I
What?
thought
It's special.
so untouched. I thought it would just feel quite different.
Yeah.
There's something really interesting, like it's $300 a day to go there, like, and it's restricted amounts of people.
Really?
And they
but-
manage the visas, how many visas they can
Yes.
do that. But for me, you know what
Tell
the
me.
spectacular thing
Wow.
is?
Tell
It's
me.
the landing. Because only Bhutanese pilots who actually fly, the airline of Bhutan is called, what is it called? Druki or something? Because that's the name of a dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you land, and literally you see this wing of an airplane almost touching the Himalayas.
No.
And then the plane, it's a total experience.
What do you mean the plane turns? So I
No,
have to
the
get ready.
plane literally tilts and it turns because it's going to land in a valley, and only Bhutanese pilots
Can do it.
It's spectacular. And when you're checking in, because you're flying
Look at
in
me,
out of,
I'm like,
out of
will
you're
we
flying
land?
in out of Bangkok,
Yes.
and you have to ask actually which side of the airplane should I sit. Window seats.
Right, so
It's
you can
it's
see
a
the-
view to.
Can you
It's
imagine?
divine. It's
So-
an experience.
Wow.
So before
But
I
you need
even
to be
step
brave.
into the country,
Yeah.
I'll put on all my, you know,
Yeah.
my
That's the
brave
airline.
look.
Yeah.
Burqa.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking before you land,
Yeah.
even pre-airport experience and so on, you've already taken in these vistas. And I just chose Bhutan because those are the, you know, one of those countries that really still a bit
Yes.
untouched.
Yes.
Right, the
Yeah, there's so much
mountains, the
mystery
people
to it.
probably look so different. They'll be looking at me, I'll be looking at
Oh,
them.
they'll love you. They'll love you.
So that's one for me. Two for me.
Awesome.
How
Awesome.
about you?
So mine, every time I leave a voice note, people tell me, "Oh my God, you know you have a radio voice."
You do.
Oh, you do.
So I would love to actually host a radio show,
I think we should.
even if once.
I think we could make that happen. Surely.
Actually, I think we could.
Surely. I
Like
mean,
that, I have to do that.
all you lovely people listening, I know
I mean,
one of you has like a radio
This
contact.
is a radio voice.
Please
This is a
share.
radio. Hello, everybody. This is a Ching.
You
the
see?
Queen. We're going to be listening to some night, whatever. Please give me a chance to be on your radio.
Are you listening, people?
You've got the queen.
And you know, that you have a Treklee voice. You have a voice of honey and God knows velvet, silk and chocolate. So we see it. Let's make it
you
happen.
Heard her. I didn't even say
you
it
need
myself.
her. You need her as your host on your radio show.
You do.
So that's
You do.
one of the many things on my bucket list. Others are to do with travel and stuff, but that's the
Okay.
one that I want to do next.
Oh, that'll be
my
fun.
goodness.
Literally
That'll
get
be
onto a
fun. We
show.
should drink to that.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
fun, and it would be so great if you all out there tell us what you have on your bucket list. Has it been as thrilling, as fun, as you had anticipated? So maybe just write it in. We would love to know.
Yeah, tell us. We might just pick up on some of your ideas.
Share.
So with that, ladies, I guess it's a wrap.
What fun!
We gotta go, but remember to subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.